Gunshine State, ha. One of them boys still boating in that way. Big plate, get it for the 18 if you straight. Get cake and stop hating, it's the motto of the state. Ha. A lot of face, but it's still real around here. That foreign talk, that can get you killed down here. Niggas better learn the lingo, cause they'll be looking for you in that water finding Nemo. See, Palm Beach County be the craziest. Them Broward County niggas be the craziest. And them Dade County niggas be the wildest. Shout out to Belle Glaze and my niggas at Fort Myers. Salute to all my Florida boys out here on the grind. When niggas out here getting dough with that snow and the sunshine. Ducking 9, waiting at the port to bring in that order. Cause niggas like depend on what come across that water. Welcome to South. I was born in the South, raised in the South. A Dade County nigga that was made in the South.
Yo, what's good? Canes fans, Canes fam. We wanted to give y'all some time to vent, man. You know what I'm saying? We might be ripping open the scab here, but it's okay. Season over now. It's done with. Miami Hurricanes are 7-5. Bitter disappointment to end the season. All things considered, we could have ended up 6-7, I guess. So a 7-6. But if y'all thought I was gonna come on here and vent and go off, that's absolutely not happening. What I did is I opened it for y'all to come on here and vent. So for the villains, for the members, in the community section, we've put the group me in there. And they're gonna have the opportunity to come on whenever they're ready, and we're gonna bring them on and let them speak their piece. You know what I'm saying? We'll take a little bit to kind of give our thoughts on the game and how we interpret it. Me and KB, we're waiting to see if Rich comes in here. Maybe straight up pop his head in. We don't know, but yeah, I don't want to say I'm numb to it, but when this is the reality, I'll see the hoodie, man. Burn it down. So, anywho, KB, man, go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Man, y'all know I work a lot, so right after the game, I was right back at it again, and I did a whole show in the car on the way to the job. Y'all just don't, boy, listen here. I cussed Mario ass out. I cussed Dawson out. I couldn't. Anyway, man, as far as the game goes, giving my thoughts on the game, man, we shouldn't look that bad when I know we lost a lot of guys. We had a lot of guys, guys are going to the draft, guys are hitting the portal, yada yada. I just don't think it was I don't know if that's an excuse for us to look as bad as we did. I felt like we didn't go into the game, and I'm not gonna say we didn't have a game plan, but it's just like we didn't go in there trying to do anything. Like maybe, just do something different. It's the last game. You got young guys in. Let's just throw some wrinkles. Let's just show some craziness. Let's do something. We didn't see any of that, but what we saw today was probably what we saw all year. You know what I'm saying? The same things y'all gonna hear me bring up. I'm gonna try to be short about it, because Mehdi said it's beating the dead horse. Same old mistakes, same old penalties, same old lack of innovation. I think on the defensive side of the ball, they just attacked our Achilles heels, and there was nothing we could do about it, right? What I mean by that is, yes, we were highly ranked when it came to us stopping the run, but that was with Leonard Taylor and, a host of other guys, right? We saw what happened when Leonard Taylor's not there. We saw before this game started. So when we get to this game now, and I kept telling y'all, like, hey, yeah, we know it's Rutgers, but that's a Shiano coach team. Those guys are going to come to play. And they led their conference in rushing. Like they play hard-nosed football. We did not have enough fat boys up front, and the fat boys we did have were not productive enough, in my opinion, without going back and look at the tape. We talked about that before. Then we met him, a big guy like Moulton. Are you occupying space effectively? You know, I need to look at the tape to see that, because it could have been all double teams on him or something. But we just didn't. There was nothing going on with our girth up front. And then out of the linebackers, man, the only person I saw coming alive was Kiko. Kiko came to play. Didn't see much else out there with him. Not having our safeties hurt, as much as y'all like to talk trash about James, we definitely could have used him in that box. Some plays out there Marquise missed. He had some big plays he could have made. Young guy, you know what I'm saying? Things happen or what have you. But it's like they kind of just got out there. They didn't do anything special. I think that's the most frustrating part. Like, their quarterback barely threw the ball, didn't have to. They just gave their running back the ball and said go, and we couldn't do a thing about it. Flipping the ball to the offensive side of the ball, I felt like we weren't creative enough. Our line took a step back. Like, we got to be better than that without Cohen and Lee. We have to be better than that. I guess we're gonna have to go and bring some more guys in the portal, because that was not impressive at all. I think JB played well. Of course, he didn't go out there and light it up with Heisman, but quarterback wasn't the issue today, this game, or what have you. There was a lot to be desired out there in the field, man. It's just, I mean, y'all can hear it in my tone, man. It's just sad to see us go out like that, even in a close game like that. It's still just, it didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right, man. But you know, that's how year 2 ends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how year 2 ends. Rich, what you think about the game? Rich, are you
You
muted?
want my opinion overall, or you want my opinion about? I was muted for a
Just-
second.
Oh, okay. You can hit the game, and you know, whatever you want to touch on.
It starts with us not being prepared to play all the time. When I watched, I'm just watching a little bit of that Arizona Oklahoma game with a former Hurricane coach and Jed Fish, and I'm looking at these guys from Arizona who don't recruit the way Oklahoma does. They don't have 5-star guys on their team, and you just seeing them just take it to Oklahoma. They don't care about Boomer Sooner. They don't care about Venables.
Some people just know
And
that
they
the
damn
best
sure
rate
don't
for
care
you is
about
a rate based on you.
anything that Oklahoma
Not Paul.
stands for.
You don't want to ride with Paul. Get a rate
Uh,
based on you with DriveWise and the Allstate app.
Can we mute that?
Not everybody's Jalen Hurts.
Mary,
Line it
can
up
you get
again.
that? There you go.
And this time, whips it, scores. Touchdown, Scarlet Knights.
My fault. I muted the site, but it didn't mute the live. My fault. Shout out Alicia
Oh,
Keys.
Yeah, man. They didn't give a damn about Oklahoma. You seeing it, and I don't know what the outcome of that game is going to be, but the way they came out, we don't ever have Hurricane teams that come out that way. What we usually do is we let what the other team is going to do dictate how we play. And, you know, we don't have an identity. I know that we try to be tough and all that other stuff, but but is that really the Miami identity we should have? We got a bunch of skilled players with speed. Yes, we upgraded the trenches. Yes, we're not where we need to be on the D tackle side of things. But even if we're in bad coverage, like I think we were not in the defense we should have been in, especially when we know going into it that they was going to run the ball. I mean, they passed the ball 16 times, ran it 44 times, if I believe. We knew that was going to be the case, and we was in a 4-2-5, having DBs trying to tackle these running backs that love the weight room. I mean, what you going to expect? Heck, A 4-3 would have been nice, but it'd probably be even better if we was in a 4-4 because they did what they wanted to do with the running game. So yeah, overall, I think we did not have our team ready to play that team and that style of football for this bowl game. And it's very indicative of the coaching because the coach is the one that's supposed to get you up and ready to go out there and play. That's the coach's job. And we was not we come into a lot of situations where we're just not prepared to play. And I don't think it's a Jimmy's and Joe's thing. I think it's a X's and O's thing.
Agree 100%. Medi, what's your thoughts on the game if you got any?
Where do I start? I don't know what I said it during in this live stream like this. I'm putting this game 1,000% on the coordinators. Mario does get some blame as well. Let's be outstandingly clear. He's not ducking anything, but offense, defense, special teams, and strength and conditioning. What the fuck? Like what do we? Offense. I wanted to, man. I was so ready to point like fingers to the Jekyll and Hyde play call, and then I heard the story about Tyler, and I get it. But then I'm looking at, I'm looking at the Clemson game, the Florida State game, where it's a very regressed and conservative play call. It's like, okay, that's understandable. It's a true freshman. And then I'm looking at your true sophomore, redshirt sophomore now, quarterback coming today, and I'm watching you ease him in the first. We lost the entire first quarter. Like we might have had what 4 or 5 snaps in the first quarter. They completely dominated the first quarter from start to finish in time of possession. That's one thing that I will give Shiano credit for. That dude figured out how to take the first quarter away and take the fourth quarter away. Once he did that, the jig was up. And the crazy thing is we had him on the ropes. But what frustrated me is in the third quarter, where I've watched Shannon Dawson coach Tyler Van Dyke into third and fourth quarter pulling away and getting distance against, a Texas A&M team. I watched him be aggressive. I watched him once again shit the bed today in regards to play calling. I saw some sparks of creativity on the 2 straight scoring drives. We scored 17 unanswered. I'm sitting here once again throwing my hands up because a touchdown that should have been a touchdown was put off the board, and that's your game. That's your ball game. But when it comes to the ACC, or not the ACC, when it comes to referees in general, bending us over, especially in bowl season, I'm never gonna count that out. That's a given at this point. It's almost as if we got to learn how to coach despite that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm just having a hard time understanding, like what was Dawson's game plan? And I don't know, running a load of boxes, losing Mark Fletcher, excuse me, Mark Walton. Losing Mark Fletcher was a huge blow. There were no bruisers in the running backfield like we're accustomed to have. We had a bunch of scat backs. We basically used 2 of them. That limited everything. Our O-line got Lou Cristobal on it. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I'm looking at and then going over to the other side on defense. I felt like if the offense didn't show up because your Curry was going to be, kind of going through the motions, at least Gidry would have dialed something up. And it seemed like it was it's like sometimes Gidry has this thing, and it's not the first time he's done it. He's done it quite a bit this season, but it's almost as like he's anticipating something from what he sees on film. And then he just coaches to that until the team completely gets away from it. And it's almost like he's like the girl who's outside the jump ropes, waiting to double dutch. It's like, let me wait to see what happens before I jump in. And more often than not, some games are lost because you're waiting too long. Like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't Shiano's game plan, right? Just run the damn ball. But we really lost to one person. If you think about it, like, we got beat by one person and an O line that in theory we should be a lot better than, but obviously we weren't. Zero push, guys missing tackles, guys getting drugged. And then just to add the fucking fuel to the fire, I'm watching every time it seems like you're getting a stop, I'm watching people just do this, trying to get over the line, or guys getting drugged for another 5 to 10 yards, and refs just letting it happen. And it's like, and it's just frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch. And then that absolute monstrosity. I don't know who's been in that spot all year on special teams. I don't know why Branson Dean and Jacob Lichtenstein got brought in for that as two defensive players. I don't know what the logic was behind that. I'm not the coach, but that was pretty telling. And then it wasn't till, you got it blocked and in return for a TD that you finally decided we should probably have 3 people back here. It's like, did we start playing special teams yesterday? I don't understand, man, but that's my sense.
That leads to a before we get to our villains, to me that leads that ultimately leads to our biggest problem, right? And we've discussed it, but sometimes I feel like sometimes people don't hear us, you know what I'm saying? Because people just kind of want to poo, but we really do have a coaching problem. Not to the point where people need to be fired, but we I'm sorry, but you can't coach and just get better on the job for 5 to 10 years or whatever it is, bro. Coaching is not something that's brand new. We've all seen these same positions we put ourselves in. We've seen these same situations. You know what to do in a certain situation, or at least you should know. So I'm looking at things like we have a coaching problem that needs to get fixed, right? Nothing new. All this has been going on all year. Medi just alluded to that block punt. Our very first punt, that dude was like right here and almost got it. Shiano saw that shit and came after it again.
We did not adjust.
Shiano saw it. Yeah, Shiano saw it, but we didn't. And he came after it and he got it. Once he got it, just like Medi said, then we put 3 back there. That's something you should have saw the same way Shiano saw it. At the end of the game, when we're trying to make this comeback, it came back down to clock management again, which started in the second half. Going into the second quarter, they have the ball. It's whatever happened on second down, it's now 3rd and 11. And I'm like, call the timeout. You hear Gilmore, you hear the other analysts saying, oh, we thought Miami would call the timeout here. I think it's like 1:15, 1:20 on the clock. We don't call the timeout. They run the play. We ultimately get the ball back with 45 seconds left. Why is that important? Well, we drive the ball down. We're driving. That's the play that Restrepo caught the ball in the end zone and they took it back, said it wasn't a touchdown, right? Forget whether it was or wasn't. The point is, if you do what you're supposed to do, and this is a hindsight talking, if you call that timeout like everybody else is expecting you to do after that play is over, instead of it being 4 seconds, there's about 25 seconds left on the clock. Gives us more time to score. We lost this game by 4 points. We ended up kicking 3. We ended up kicking the ball and getting 3 instead of getting 7. We ended up losing this game by 4 points. That's your extra 4 points because you could have gave yourself ample opportunities to actually get that touchdown after Restrepo, whatever, out of bounds or whatever. We didn't do that. And it kind of came in the same play. Like we ended the game with 2 timeouts. Why the fuck we didn't use any of the timeouts? Why aren't we throwing in the middle of the field? Why are we saying Curry drop back? If it's not there, take off, get me 10 to 15, we're gonna call a timeout. At the very least, let's end this game on a Hail Mary at the very least. But these are things that we've seen all season. And it's just like I don't know how we get over that coaching hump. There's more things we could point out, but it's kind of like these things are standard things that we've seen over and over and over again. And it's like our coaching staff is not, it's like they're not present in the game. Like I don't understand how we're still making some of the same old mistakes. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but yeah,
No,
that's the way I felt.
I do. And to add on to that, it doesn't help when if you're getting smoked on coaching, cool. Well, at least let it happen between the white lines, right? But when you got guys that are making some of these mental errors and doing some of these things that nobody likes Miami. We heard Ed Reed say that during the Al Golden era. He's like,
Right.
nobody likes you. Like, it makes it frustrating when you see a Bobby Washington, run into the kicker after the play, and Jacoby Jordan. Man, for all the praise we gave this dude, he was absolutely awful, and it wasn't even on the field stuff. It was everything else. And
Yeah.
that's the guy we trot out in front of the two guys we tried in front of Cam Ward. One got hurt and the other one showed his ass on national TV and was a large component towards our loss. And those are things that I'm not saying that a head coach is responsible for discipline, but you got to instill something that has these guys. I don't know what happened to the Mario that I saw ripping into a running back's ass at Oregon in the horseshoe with the lead to the Mario that's here now, because, and granted, yeah, some of these guys are from a different, era per se, but Bobby Washington's a Mario kid.
Right.
And those are the type of things that you gotta, I don't know, man. You gotta
You
put your
either
foot down.
you coaching it or allowing it to happen.
Maddie, you're right. You're right, man. Don't say that you don't know if it's when it comes to this. No, that's the coach's job. Being undisciplined, penalties, all that stuff that you brought up, that's a sign of a not so well coached team. Like Rich just said, you're coaching it or you're not, or you're allowing it. We saw George temper tantrum all season.
Yeah, and Sherman Brown. I mean, this is what we doing. We talking about Jacoby George had 55 yards in penalties by himself. Yeah, we're putting it on the
That's half the
players.
field, bro. That's more than
Yeah,
half the field.
we're putting it on the players, and that is what we're saying. That's part of it too. But at the end of the day, you coach that. All right, let's go back to the regular season. TVD throws 4 picks, and we keep him in the game. He's a starter the next game. You kill the morale of your quarterback room. Why? Because you don't hold everybody to the same standard. And then you got a kid who's in waiting who basically said, "Hey, I want to get my red shirt back," which he was smart to do. And you basically act like he's the problem. He's the one throwing the picks. Now, when we look at Jacoby George and what he did with the 55 yards, it's the same thing. Because you want to win the game, or you feel as if he's the best option you got out there, which we don't know any different, you leave him out there. So now what the rest of your receiving room is going to say? They're going to be like, if Jacoby George could do it, I could do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Maybe how many people we got in the back?
We got 2 right now. He and Chucky, but I think Chucky just wants to listen. I don't think he actually wants to come on. So at least that's what he said in the group meeting.
Let's all right, let's bring them on so they can take this ride with us. And anybody that want to call in, Maddie's got the number out there. Well, let's take them on this ride with us as we discuss some of these topics. I think you got my boy back there. That's Heat.
Yeah, man, that's Heat.
That's one of Mario Buffalo Soldiers right there, boy.
Hey, Heat. Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself, man. Give us your thoughts.
Let me game with y'all fellas, man.
What you
Give me a
say?
second. Let me get out. Let me get out. So I and bring no other noise in.
All right.
Mm-hmm. We appreciate that.
I'm pissed off by this bullshit. Point blank.
Understandable.
Period. Point blank. Period. Maybe you alluded to it. I don't know what the hell the rationale was behind bringing Liechtenstein in, but that was piss poor. Um, First of all, I don't like a defensive player being in a blocking scheme. That just don't make no sense to me at all. I would have rather seen a tight end in that role. Um, yeah, or I don't know, a backup old lineman. It didn't seem smart altogether. Um, Defensively, I'm thankful that he went into the portal, got Marley Cook, got what's the other guy name? I can't think of his name right now. We need some beef in that middle badly. Um, we got a lot of fixing to do, man. You saw some of the young pups, Markeith was trying to do what he could do, but he just too light. I see him almost like everybody saw. What's my guy, the tight end that just left? Cyrus Moss the same way. Just too small for that position. We're gonna have to reach back and really really do some evaluations. I hope
You talking
Alonzo
about Jaleel
is
Skinner?
Jaleel Skinner. Yeah, um,
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot of growing up to do, man. There's no reason why we should have been physically dominated by Rutgers. And as much as we say it's a coaching issue, I said it before earlier in the season. Um, I fought the players too with that too, because if you got that dog mentality, if you really a competitor like that, you competitive on all lanes. You ain't competitive when you just in the field. You competitive in that weight room. And if this don't show that they ain't competitive, bro, that's sad, bro. Like when you come to major D1 programs, you got to know that you got to be physically fit, bro. You got to be able to withstand. I don't know if that's a fault of the coaches for evaluations, or if it's just I don't know, man. It's hard to really put it together. But there's no reason we should get physically outmatched, outclassed by Rutgers. I don't think I ever seen us lose to Rutgers in my life.
We never have.
Never have.
Nope.
That was the first
Yeah,
win they've
that's
ever had in the history of the series.
yeah, man. So that to me that is like I see what Mario wants to do. I see his blueprint for talent acquisition. I can see it. You can see what he's trying to build through recruiting. But if you recruiting athletes and they get in there and they half-assing, it's hard to say, man. And like you said, I don't know who was mentioned about Jacoby. I mean, young dude, a firecracker, man. He's a firecracker. He it's like very undisciplined. Now, I don't. I'm the man for Kevin Beard. I like him. I love him. But I mean, he got to be in these fellas' heads, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, I definitely hear you. I would just say help is on the way. I'll leave it at that. I don't think that was a proper reflection of what the 2024 Miami Hurricanes are going to look like. Um, so it's disappointing, but at the same time, yeah, like you lose, 7 to 10 guys and to have that significant of a drop off. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you definitely. Yeah, and I'm with you. We knew. ourselves, and Mario said it. We still trying to build depth. I get that, but I mean, I'm flabbergasted that we at this point of the season, man, and some of these young pups ain't really sprouted. Like if we trying to build competition like on Green Tree each and every day like that, these guys should have had ample time, man, to really get where they need to be. And something's got to be said about that. I mean, I saw, you see Francisco, he doing his thing on defense, but I see fucking Wesley. He lock up with a running back 2 yards past the line of scrimmage and get drove back 10 yards. What the fuck are you doing in strength and conditioning, bro? That, I mean, I'm almost like saying, like, shit, Wesley, you can haul your ass off too. Because that makes no sense, bro.
At all.
The running back, what? He 210. So they come on now. He 5'9", 5'10", 210. Wesley, you what? They say he 220, 225 now. I don't see it. I don't see it playing.
That's a different 210 right there.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Still 210. God damn. Like
I think they lied. I think the running back was 215, 220.
Whatever he was, God damn, I like him, but let the truth be told, bring his ass down to the ground. Like we had him on so many plays, like one of the longest ones he broke. He behind the line of scrimmage. We don't crash one side of the line. He ran back to the other side of the line. What the fuck is the contain man?
And what I'm lost about, Kyle, is this is the number 10 rush defense in America. The number 10 rush defense in America.
Well, them stats went out the window, dog, when you lost all them players. So I don't take that into account.
That's fair.
I'll take that into account. We saw us with our LT, and it don't look good. But that's what Rich is saying, that, okay, what are we going to try, and how long is it going to take? At some point of time, I said it. I would have overcommitted. We would have ran a fucking 5-2. I would have overcommitted to stopping the run.
I'm with you.
That quarterback would have had to beat me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know I've told this story before. I'm not going to tell the whole story. It's not a long story, but I remember when we was in high school, we had a good team, good athletes, blah, blah, blah. Dog, but we ran that stupid ass wing team. Y'all know what happened when we played Dillard? Them motherfuckers played goal line against us the whole fucking game. Because our coach was too fucking stubborn to do anything else.
Yeah.
And we had an NFL receiver on our fucking team. And bro, we had players. But this is what he wanted to do. They beat us because they played goal line the whole game. And I'm looking at Rutgers and I'm like, bro, this is all they want to do.
All they want to do is run.
They goal line, but I'm overcommitting to that shit.
I think they said dude missed 7 straight passes. Like he threw himself into under 50%. He threw himself into this. He started off hot, and it was kind of, and I said that, I was like, hey, best record y'all ever seen. Y'all gonna see it today. And then he kept throwing in the second half, and he was missing pass after pass after pass after pass. And I was like,
and think about this. Think about this for a second. If you played a 4-4, let's say, where they was getting 2 yards a carry at a certain time in the game, in the third quarter, and you have to start throwing the ball, what typically happens on defense? You typically get turnovers. You typically get interceptions. Then you make the game speed up, which they didn't want to do. They wanted to slow the game down. Mm-hmm. This is like coaching 101.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. But I'm gonna say this also though. Maybe you alluded to the whole first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They dominated. I don't know what the fuck Ja'Cory was doing in that first quarter. But how the fuck you missing screen passes, throwing them in the grass, bro? Some got to be said about that too. Like,
I
I
agree
mean,
with you. I agree. I
it
agree.
happened. It happened, just
Go
like
ahead.
the pick happened. But I can't like y'all know I'm definitely not gonna let that be overdone. Yeah, he missed that, but all right, cool. This is his first start. Let's get him in the rhythm because you saw once he got into the rhythm, Jakari wasn't your problem like at all. Like yeah, he fucked that up. They dominated that first quarter. So it's kind of like we can point to that, but his very first pass was what 20 something yards downfield that George dropped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
On the
So it's
money.
like, hey,
Yeah.
let's
That
like
changes the trajectory of the whole game. Because football is about momentum. I mean, when they blocked that punt and scored, I think the momentum swung in what Rutgers' favor and it
nope.
never came back our way. So
If
Jacoby makes that
JG3,
catch.
yeah, he blurs that dude out the gate, we run the score up on that Rutgers team.
Right.
And the part that frustrates me, he's caught it under more pressure. That Florida State catch wasn't even remotely as simple as the catch that he dropped. Like that Florida State catch was elite through two defenders, and you had a step on the other guy and you dropped it. And like I said, we could blame it on that, but it seemed like for him like that almost derailed him, which in turn derailed the rest of the team. It's like that bad kid that gets ignored. And then once he feels like he's getting ignored, it's like, well, I'm just gonna start throwing temper tantrum and hitting other kids and throwing toys all over the place. And I'm gonna act an ass because why not, right? And it's projection.
Right.
It's projection because you realize like, hey, I might have screwed up an opportunity. You know, Shannon called that because I think everybody was expecting for X to get the ball, right? They knew he was 7 yards away. It's like, and it's like, well, first play of the game, we going over the top. How KB said, we're going to go vertical on people, and that's exactly what they did. And you dropped the shit. Well,
yeah. And then that we
And
don't know what that does to Dawson. It shouldn't do anything to Dawson because if you're OC, I need you to have nuts. But we don't know what that does to Dawson when we go out. And this is my first one. I scheme it open, he drops it. We don't know how that changes his game plan. You know what I'm saying? And what he's gonna do from now on. Maybe now he doesn't trust the passing game. Blah blah blah. However, I will hold him accountable for this, bro. You can't just give up after that, bro. We took what 2 pop shots off. Come on, man. We can't do that ball that he threw. I'm like, God damn, Jakari got an arm. And I'm not saying Jakari was gonna be perfect or he will have. I'm not saying any of that. But you have to go out there and give everybody that opportunity. And it can't be one opportunity. Go up top on Rutgers. They're missing their best player on defense, their cornerback. He's not playing because he's sitting out for the draft. And you're telling me we're not going to attack that shit?
we
I'm
didn't
talking about
attack it at all.
downfield.
We didn't even think about it.
So look,
we let them do what they want.
While we're here, because the defense, talking about the defense is that shit is draining because we all saw it. Like we all saw it. We can flip back to it. But let's move on to the offensive side of the ball. I could go on this for days, but I'm gonna let y'all go ahead. Like Rich, go ahead and like what were you starting to say? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro. But
I was saying you're 100% right. So on offense, we didn't exploit anything that they were giving us. Then our protection was very suspect, especially at the first half of the game. So a lot of people were talking about the quarterback and his throws. They were writing off Jakari after he had 2 to 3 throws, which I get it.
Right.
If you don't, a lot of people did not want Jakari to be our quarterback. I completely get the hate. But
is that true, Rich?
yes.
When Tyler jumped in that portal, they didn't want Jakari to be the quarterback.
It's not when Tyler jumped in the portal. They didn't want Jakari to be the quarterback after Emory threw 2 passes in the spring game. They was like, oh, we got Ken Dorsey. We got the next coming to Ken Dorsey.
I know.
And then, when they heard Jakari wanted his wanted his redshirt season back. They're like, "Oh, see, he ain't competitive. See, there you go. He ain't competitive. He don't want to play quarterback no more. I think he wants to be a car insurance salesman." That's what I heard. They was making up all type of excuses. Now,
I'm gonna put something in the chat. Go ahead, though. I'm missing.
the point of me saying that is they weren't going to give Ja'Curry the benefit of the doubt, even if this man threw for 300 yards. It is what it is. But when you got a quarterback that's starting for the first time this season, this is his very first game. He wasn't getting any first or second string looks outside of Emery breaking his arm and TVD throwing 12 picks. So you bring this guy in the game, and the first thing that you do, which is textbook QB 101, is you give this guy as much protection as you are going to give him. You give him a lot of protection, and you scheme up warm-up throws. You scheme up a couple of slants. You scheme up some hitches, some easy completion passes. We didn't do that. Even if Ja'Curry is our best deep threat quarterback currently, we stopped doing that. We went one time to Jacoby, and then we stopped doing it. So there was no rhythm. There's no way for the quarterback to even get in rhythm. And then, shout out to him, the first couple of throws, it looked like he was rattled. He threw one in the dirt, which looked real bad. But after that, he started to play his game. One thing I will say, it looked like he was a little bit on the heavy side. He probably had too much of that New York pizza.
Understandable. Couple chopped cheeses, you know the word, you know the vibes.
Exactly. He was a little bit heavy, and maybe that's because you got him sitting back there, pulling out weeds instead of practicing. Because you say we got a QB coach, but I mean, there's a lot to be desired in that QB room when it comes to coaching. But I would say he did as decent as he possibly could with what he had around him. I would say that offensive line, it was a new experience. Number 52 was getting pushed back in the quarterback's lap a couple times. JG, who was a captain, JG3, he was a captain, but he wasn't playing like a captain. 55 yards, penalty yards himself, negated anything he could have did for the game. And then on our OC wasn't. We were playing to. We were being very conservative when it comes to our play calling. So, in a nutshell, Restrepo, what I got to say about him is that he does everything right. And maybe some of the other receivers may take note, and maybe our players need to take note on. There has to be something said about somebody who loves the game of football and who does everything right on and off the field. You got to understand, kids like that are always going to get an opportunity. That's in anything in life. That's anything in life. I don't care where you go. You what profession you go to. If you do things right, you're always going to get an opportunity.
That's fair, Rich.
It is what it is, but I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Yeah, hey Heat. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Ja'Curry Brown and how you think he played. I asked a question in the chat, and it's funny to see how many people they're not pressing a number, but they're just venting. I think that's very interesting. But I'd like to hear your thoughts, Heat, on what you thought about Ja'Curry's play today.
Honestly, to be honest, after he settled in that second quarter, I'll say that, what was it, right before, it was at the 90-yard drive, when he didn't have time to really think, he just had to play. That got him into a rhythm. Um, so I think with Curry going forward, I think if you just let the kid just get out there and play his game, get comfortable, be happy in what he doing, you gonna see some hellified growth, bro. The dude got all the tools. Um, but like I said, when he thinks too much, he makes the mistakes. I alluded to the pass in the grass or whatnot. I think he was thinking too much, honestly.
Hmm.
I think he was thinking too much. But you saw, like I say, once you saw him get into a rhythm and just start going out there and playing, just making plays, sandlot football, the guy can do some things for us. He can do some things for us. But I think I don't know if I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna put this on Dawson, but um, a lot of coordinators have a problem with that. They have a problem with letting the guy just be the guy. If you would give Curry the
True.
same freedom that you gave Tyler Van Dyke in making calls at the line of scrimmage and trusting him to do so, I think we can end up with something good. The
I agree.
problem is though, I think what happened this game, he did put enough on film, I think, to get some notices from other places. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a high value in the transfer portal if he decides to go that route, but I do think somebody will see his athleticism, see the versatility that he brings to an offense, and want to pull him. Um, that's just the way I feel about it.
Listen, we can tell you all without a doubt where the Curry was sitting on that bench, they was reaching out to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's we don't even got to talk about today's game. Like people know who Brown is, and they know what all those tools are that are there. But who is that we got, Maddie? Let's let him join in on this conversation.
That's Gage Shoddy, man. Gage, go ahead and you can mute your mic, man, and give your piece.
Gay look a little dog, man. What's going on?
What's up, man? Shit, just got these little ones to bed. But what was the question about JB? How did he do?
Yeah.
He bounced back, man. I think he definitely got in his head after seeing Jacoby George drop that first pass and then hearing all the shit he been hearing. Everybody holding his game from a year and a half ago against him like he that same dude. He came in with built up pressure anyway. So I like Dawson trying to take that pressure off him and giving him the shot over the top in the beginning. Seeing JB drop that, I think it rattled him for a second as to why you saw a couple balls going to the dirt. But then once Dawson finally tried to get into some RPO with him, he settled down a little bit. And I think he played as good as his OC will let him play, man, because blame gotta go on Dawson, man, because we done seen three quarterbacks here now, and this man don't seem like he know how to design or cater to the strengths of what he working with his
Right.
quarterbacks, man. Like it's pathetic. Like we saw Emory Williams and again he wound up winning, but 12 for 15 at the half of that game against Clemson, man, and the man only had 31 yards. And then you come out here today with the same type of game plan with a guy who is a weapon. You know what I mean? He's a weapon, man, in every sense back there. He may not be the greatest, he may not throw for 70%, but that don't matter, man. The man can win games. The man is a winner. And he showed it before that game ended. He showed it once Dawson gave him a chance to show it. But why Louis Cristobal was on that field, man, I have no
No
idea.
idea.
That didn't help him at all either, man, because that man was a turnstile. I have no idea why McCoy didn't start, and he started against BC and played pretty good, man. And when McCoy got in there, offense did pretty decent. Louis Cristobal should never touch the field again after the first quarter, but that's another story, man. I'll stick to JB for now. But JB JB showed some things, man. He showed some toughness. He showed some maturity there. And he made plays, man, when he could make, when he was given the opportunity to make plays, man. He made plays. So I'm not disappointed in him at all, but I will be very disappointed if we lose him after this, man, because I really feel like, man, it's he got a high ceiling to me. We ain't seen nothing from that dude yet, man. If he's utilized right, though,
Right.
and Dawson not doing it, though. He's not doing it, man. Dawson, we found out tonight, too, with the third quarterback, that the same dude get the most targets and the most catches. That's this man's offense, man. This man tried to use Restrepo as a Tank Dell. He's not as athletic as Tank Dell. Just think if that's going to be his offense, if that would have been a Rashard Smith or Ray, somebody like that. But I ain't going to take nothing away from Restrepo, man, because that man does everything for us. He works with everything he's got, more than, you know what I mean? That man is 200% effort maximum all the time. And I wish him the best. I really hope that he moves on to the league, man, because he don't need to stick around for another year. This dude can't do nothing but come back and get injured, messing around with this shit. He need to go ahead and move on to the league, man. I honor that, man. Props to Xavier, man. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him, man. But the offense seems to be catered through that position with Dawson, no matter what. And no matter who the quarterback is. That's why our tight ends haven't been used all year. He don't know how to use them. Period, man. Here in 13 games, we done watched this dude, man. And do our tight ends got 13 receptions? I'm curious. Like, for real, it's crazy, man. Like, this dude literally caters and designs an offense through the slot and uses his tight ends to no advantage, man, at all. No advantage at all. And then I don't know where the run game just went dive after dive after dive. What happened to the pulling? What happened to the trapping? You know what I mean? The countering. None of that, man. All of that went away. Like, I don't know, man. JB did what he could do with who was calling the plays behind him, man. Because I think a lot of this focus got to go on Dawson now, man. Because we got a 13-game resume of this dude, man. And ever since the A&M game, I'm just not impressed. You know what I mean? I'm just not impressed, man. Week in and week out, and we just tried to give him every excuse. Oh, Mario got his hands all over it. Which he very well might, because coming out to call a timeout on 4th and 2, man, and then come out, motion them tight ends to the left, and then try to run behind Luke Cristobal, man. And that falls all on Dawson, man. Like, for real, man. That falls all on Dawson, man. Like, pathetic. That's what y'all came out that timeout with. Not let's roll to Curry out the pocket or try anything. Like, we didn't see any of that today. No design rollouts. No design. Oh, goodness. There's no creativity in this man's offense, man. The more I sit here and think about it and analyze it, man, this man is not creative at all, man. And I feel like it's holding everything back. I really do.
He really is, but and that's the part that baffles me about this coaching staff. I can't tell from week to week. I'm getting a different person. So I think the chat and myself and a lot of people are wondering, like, is this Mario doing this? Is Mario telling him, hey, on this 4th and 2, we running this shit out of damn shotgun, which is still baffling to me. Shout out to Rutgers for realizing, like, hey, that tush push. You know, even though, you know, Roger Goodell's trying to get it banned in the NFL, like, it works. It works primarily because you make a referee have to think, like, well, did he cross the line? And as long as you could just keep doing it, which is like, it's not insanity because it worked. Why stop it? You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that I want a tangent, but I digress. The offense, it gives me something. Because it seemed like against Louisville, the offense we saw against Louisville was the offense we saw against Texas A&M. And then we saw shades of it the next week against Boston College. And then we come out this week, and it's like all that is gone. And we've given them benefit of doubt, like I said, because, you know, when Emery went in there, it's like, well, we give him benefit of doubt because he's a freshman on the road, first start. Well, no, that was home. Clemson was at home. That was a big opportunity for him, right? You know, even with Florida State, and it's one of those things where it's like the Jekyll and Hyde is killing me. He came in late, so, you know, but he's gonna have a full off season to kind of work, and that's gonna be the biggest challenge. Like, hey, can you can you retain Ja'Curry, who I truly think wants to be at Miami? I think even if Cam Ward comes, I think he's okay sitting behind and learning from Cam Ward. I think he needs it because he can't. Allegedly, we don't know this for sure, but if he can't go out and get an outside coach, sitting behind a guy like Cam Ward, who is legitimate, like the definition, legitimate of coming from the trenches, playing the incarnate word, balling out there, coming up to the now defunct Pac-12, balling out there, and then possibly coming to the ACC. I think it's a perfect. I think some of these quarterbacks sometimes just need that, honestly. In this age where everybody thinks that, oh yeah, so and so is, so and so's so good that he should leave and go somewhere else. It's nice to see a guy actually take the time to sit behind somebody and learn. That's the best title we got when that happened.
Ja'Curry was willing to do that. So the problem I have with that is we kind of understand Ja'Curry's game now, and it almost goes back to what he was doing in high school. It didn't really matter what they was running at Ja'Curry's high school. When the game was on the line and somebody needed to go out there and get the W, Ja'Curry, he did it time and time again, going against some great talent in the state of Georgia. And he'd go out there and just get you a win. Whatever he needed to do, run, pass, whatever. He played sandlot football because he was comfortable and they believed in him. I think Ja'Curry is one of those kind of cats that you have to let get game time experience. And I'm sorry, if Ja'Curry's not the guy for Miami, for Mario, for Dawson, then Ja'Curry needs to go to a place where he could damn near start for 3 years. That way you perfect your craft and you get better, because he's that type of guy. We even saw it tonight. The more the game went on, the better Ja'Curry got. And my thing is we have always been on the other side of quarterbacks like that, where we are getting our ass beat by a quarterback who's a gamer. Now we finally have one. We don't know what the fuck to do with him. That's the real frustrating part. It's
let me explain, and then we let me explain real quick what Rich is talking about. Are we talking about playing? Ja'Curry set this year, right? And that was okay, but he still should have gotten his 4 games in, because I don't think there's a thing out there that you can say that anything that you saw bad from him today was things that get corrected with playing time. You know what I mean? When you're talking about pocket awareness, things like pocket awareness, where to go with the ball, and getting into a rhythm, connecting with your receivers, and all that stuff is just time, just getting out there to play. So let's say behind the Cam Ward, he can still get all those backup minutes. You know what I mean? So I think another year of him sitting will be good for him, but you have to sit with a purpose, not just sit to sit. He has to be the number 2 guy. Come get the cleanup minutes, come get the injury minutes, come get all, and that's how you get a guy to grow and develop. But Mehdi, who we got joining us now? You got another person in?
Hey, I want to say one more thing. When you just said something about timing, Mehdi, right, Rodriguez, the center, threw the timing off on like half the plays tonight, man, because his snaps, half them snaps to Ja'Curry, man, was above that man's head. A couple of them, he had to jump for him. It was just killing the timing of a lot of them plays, man. A lot of them plays was funky as hell, man, and it was from the snaps. You know what I mean? Once he settled down and made some decent, finally the 4th quarter, I think, was Ryan Rodriguez's best quarter as far as snapping the ball to JB, man. He was throwing the timing of a lot of them plays off, man. I just wanted to shoot that in there.
No, that's definitely fair. That's definitely a fair point. I think, and that's going to happen. Like, just like we talk about, with Ja'Curry coming out there, like, and not playing a single snap of the regular season, it's going to get to a point where, yeah, you don't have that necessarily timing either. So, but I say all to say, that's Kyle, you ready to transition to the defense?
Well, nah, who was that? Who just jumped in on screen with us?
There's nobody else back here. It's just Chuck, but he's just listening. Chucky Brown.
Oh no. So who's on screen?
What you mean?
Who's that on screen? We
That's
got
me,
H.I.
man.
and who? That's it.
That's Heat. That's Heat Engage. They just had their
Oh, my
cameras
bad.
off.
My bad. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. My bad. My fault. I thought he left because they ain't got the names on the bottom. So I apologize. But yeah, just wrapping it up on offense, man. Mehdi, did you give your take on the offense?
Yeah,
You
talking
did.
about Dawson and his Jekyll and Hyde offense.
Okay. Yeah, man, we oh gosh. It's I think the most disappointing thing is we're talking about offense and defense, and it's kind of like I'm gonna ask the chat and I'm gonna ask y'all up here. Have y'all seen any growth from the coaches? You know what I'm saying? Is there anything that y'all saw that you're saying that we get better at, maybe as a unit, or maybe something that they do? Has anybody seen any growth? Because I think that's the most frustrating part for me, that it's like we just lost a game. I'm not gonna say the same way we've been losing games, but we're seeing the same mistakes, the same lack of being ahead of the other coach or the other team. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not talking about a whole bunch of hindsight stuff. We're talking about things that should have been done at this moment that weren't done. Has anybody seen any growth that they can talk about that we can take into next season? I'm not raise y'all hands at once now. I mean on the field.
Just
On
recruiting.
the field. On the field.
On the field.
I saw growth only in
on-
the Boston College game.
Yeah.
Only in the Boston
Elaborate on that, Heat.
The Boston College game, we saw some tricks, we saw some motion, we saw some screen, we saw some end around, we saw some shit that we was like, damn, where this shit been at all year? But outside of that, it's like it just went away. It just went away. Yeah, it's like we saw that was the first game all season that we saw, like, damn, we have been talking in the stream all year, like, hey, can we get this? Can we get that? Can we get some of this? And they brought it out, and and it was surprising to a lot of us. And surprisingly, Tyler played a decent game that game. I don't know if they went away from that because they weren't really sure, because Ja'Curry hadn't had so many game reps. Maybe they was trying to just babysit him, but God, I mean, I think Ja'Curry is a guy that you would bring all those things out with. You know, we saw the one end around. I think it wasn't really end around, it was like a little toss to Jacoby this game. But other than that, you didn't really see anything.
That was it. I'm glad you brought that up because it's funny. I'm glad you brought both of those points up because I had forgotten about the Boston College game. That was the game everybody was getting in the group me and on Twitter and saying, just the shit we've been asking for all year, where the fuck has been, blah, blah, blah. So I look at Rutgers, because you brought it up earlier. I look at Rutgers and that extensive use of that goddamn tush push. That's not a regular thing. You know what I'm saying? This may be the last year we even see it, right? But they saw something that they could take and adopt and use. That is an unorthodox play, but it works effectively when you're in short yardage situations, right? But it's something. It's something that they brought in and they use it. They know we can go to it. Where's our something? Like Rich is saying, like we finally got a quarterback back there that can threaten you up top and on the ground. And there was nothing we got out there and got creative with when it comes to this kid outside of that reverse that George fucked up. It's like somebody said in the comments, it's hard to say whether there's any growth in anything if you revert back to what you were doing. This is the bowl game. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we should have went out there balls to the wall. We should have tried to be as exciting as we could. Get some young guys some burn, even if it's just early. Where the fuck was Ray? Just you know what I'm saying? It's just like, what are we doing? Do we have a plan, or do we just want to get to the off season every year and fucking recruit? I think that's where I'm stuck at. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know what was the plan for the bowl game? Was it to win? Was it for the young guys to get some clock? Was it for momentum for next year? Like, what the fuck was the purpose of the bowl game? And I'm not saying that because we lost. It's just I didn't understand.
We didn't
like,
feature anything.
Like, are we trying to feature Jakari? If we're trying to feature him, we did a bad job of that because we didn't let loose in the passing game. So it's like if we didn't mix and match much personnel, I don't think, especially when it came to the young guys. We didn't see a lot of the young linebackers. It's just like, okay, what was the purpose? So it's kind of like, where are we growing at? Like, are we just trying to get to the off season so we can win the fucking off season again? Like, come on, man. Like, I need y'all to help me with that.
The crazy thing, Kyle, is there was a coach who was here in a previous regime who a lot of people felt like did the same exact thing.
It's true.
This game shot everything in the foot, man. This game just was super regression on both sides of the ball, man. Like, Guidry, it's bad enough that we ain't developed to the point where we had to put 2 corners at safety and start them tonight. You know what I mean? And so where is the development? We didn't see none of the young linebackers today. We getting ran all over the place. None of them touched the field. You don't switch the defense up. You know what I mean? You don't switch the defense up like Rich was alluding to earlier. Go 4-4. Go bear 4-6. Do anything. 5-2. Hell, do anything to try to change it up. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to throw the ball. They can't throw the ball. But the thing is, why were we zoning? Why weren't we in man? You know what I mean? Why weren't we in man? Especially when they running the ball like this. Man up on these dudes. You basically got 4 corners out there. We ain't got no safeties. Just man up. Put 7 dudes up there to stop the run. And then the adjustments from the other side. Shiano literally made 2 adjustments in that second half. Double Ruben Bain, Chip Minoa. Nobody else could tackle. You know what I mean? Tight end Chip and Minoa. They doubling Bain. Everybody else struggling to do anything. Crazy. Simple adjustments. Simple, though. Adjustments we don't make on our side of the ball. You know what I mean? Simple adjustments. You literally let this dude run like a tank on you all night. All night. And you did nothing. Got these 2 little corners coming up, putting their lights on the line every time they try. They can't fill the lane. They're not Cam or James, man. You got little midgets coming up trying to be Cam or James, man. Why are we recruiting Caleb Spencer? Why Marquise Williams still 170? Why is Jaden Harris not playing more? You know what I mean? Like,
Jaden Harris out for the season. He out for the season.
He didn't play tonight?
No, he's out for the season.
So that was Marquise out there, 15, a little skinny.
15, yeah.
So you got Marquise. You got the 2 little souped up corners. Like, where's Caleb Spencer? Like, where's anybody else? You know what I mean? Like, what are you recruiting these dudes for? He ain't played all year, so why he couldn't have touched the field tonight? You know what I mean? I don't recall seeing Caleb Spencer even on special teams, maybe once or twice. But I ain't understanding, man, the adjustments not being made by these coaches on either side of the ball, and it was getting masked in certain games and fooling us here and there. But tonight it all came to fruition, man. These boys got work to do in the offseason. Every last one of them. Them coaches done recruited all these dudes here now. Hopefully some of them ain't got buyer's remorse. Hopefully some of them ain't saying like, damn, too bad signing day wasn't next week. You know what I mean? Hopefully, man, these dudes that they done brought in here are going to come in here and they're going to develop them the proper way, man, and put them in the proper positions. Because, like you said, what was the point of today? It's a lot of dudes that could have touched that field, man. If we was going to go out there and piss that game off like that, it's a lot of other dudes that we could have saw what we were working with in the future. It's a lot of dudes you still don't know what you're working with. You know what I mean? You just don't know what you got because they didn't get no reps. Just like you waited to the last game of the year to get JB reps and put all that pressure on him. And I'm glad he didn't fold under it. He struggled at times, but, man, JB did what he can do, and he did good. I'm not disappointed that he showed me enough to where I hope he sticks around, and I hope they do him right if he does stick around.
I don't know is he in the back or is he just muted?
He turned
his camera off. So, hey, can I get your thoughts on the defense tonight?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Was anybody else on the line other than Bang?
Nope.
Oh, God, bro.
Don't feel like it.
God.
I don't need to say nothing else, bro.
Before you go off, before you roll, That has to be one of the most frustrating things. Why is this the only motherfucker making plays? Only motherfucker behind the line of scrimmage. What the fuck? Like, there's 4 other motherfuckers on the line with you, or 3, or whatever the fuck it is. What the fuck is everybody else, man? Every time I saw a play made up, there was bang, 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 bang. What the fuck? He ain't. God damn, that shit had me hot.
He's a defensive end, and yet he was our best defensive tackle tonight.
Yeah. That part.
I can't answer that question,
man. He was our best.
I can't answer that question, bro. I can't answer that question.
Shout out Coach Hayes in the chat.
It's like we need a team of wrestlers. We need a whole bunch. We need to recruit wrestlers because it's like nobody's physical enough to want to put hands on anybody.
Didn't he wrestle some shit like that? MMA, something like that.
Linebacker. He was
Liechtenstein to do when he the one let the dude through to block that punt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
I'm just trolling, but you know.
Wow. Yeah,
I can't see it.
You know what, dog? I got so frustrated. Bro. I said, you know what? If I was the coach, you know what I would have fucking did? I would have went over there to that bench. I would have said, Arnaz Cooper, get your big ass up. And I would have stuck his fat ass right there in the fucking middle. Bitch, you playing both sides today. You fucking Travis Hunter today. I would have stuck his big ass right in the fucking middle. Because I'm like, bro, nobody don't want to do shit up here but bang. I would have stuck his big ass right in the fucking middle. That shit was crazy to me, bro.
Crazy.
But at least KB, you would have did something. At least you would have did something about it. I would have
did something different. I would have, bro.
Did Moten play tonight?
It didn't look like
Moten play tonight.
It looked like it.
Yeah, he played. He played. It didn't look like it, but he played.
He played patty cake.
And he played some snaps. Him, Dean, Thomas Gore, they all was out there.
And see, I'm not.
So then they played. Then the question would be like,
guys are undersized, but god damn, bro, like you gonna pinch a motherfucker today or something? God damn.
Right. Yeah, they wasn't doing nothing, man.
I mean, we look like little boy football today. Like it looked like a whole bunch of Pee-wee Optimists. We didn't look like a football team on the defensive side of the ball. Anytime you go, what that boy had 160 on the ground?
Yeah.
Or more?
Yeah.
I think.
Come on, man. I just, it ain't nothing to be said. How many times we gonna have that happen?
It looked like
how many years? Like what was that? North Carolina was 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, where they went with like 600-700 yards.
That's what I was gonna say. When they had, he allowed,
like some shit.
Yeah, when he allowed 500 yards on the ground.
This can't continue to happen, bro.
But see, Chris Young is talking about Kyle, this is not rec ball. Hey, I was being dead ass serious. Do you see coaches out here when they let in the pros, the Jets used to have what's the big D tackle? That bitch used to come in and play offense. Like, this is still football. I think we forget that sometimes. Like, people be amazed when Travis Hunter's playing both sides and yada. This is football. These are fucking athletes. So you got
you talking about Quentin Williams?
Yeah, Quentin Williams. And they do before him, it was somebody else, and I can't remember. But y'all remember Refrigerator Perry, don't y'all? Shit, like, man, this is still football, bro. Like, the NFL is just catching on and starting to let quarterbacks that are mobile play the game of actually football and shit. This is still football. I wouldn't have sat out there and just let my ass get tush pushed to fucking death. You damn right. I would have put some O-linemen out there and told their ass to get out there. Tommy Kinsler, get your big ass out there. When they say hike, just push the nigga in front of you. I would have did something, dog. I wouldn't just sit up there and that shit happened to me.
Ain't no way, man.
I mean, that shit might sound goofy to y'all, but fuck that, bro.
Nah, it don't sound goofy at all,
for
man.
For the 15th time, for those asked about Rashard Smith, Rashard Smith did not travel with the team. He was in trouble for some off the field issues. He was suspended for the game, so he did not travel with the team.
They could have put James Richard as safety, like anybody comes.
I mean, tonight was a night that I would have. Honestly, this was the night I would have. I don't question their recruiting prowess, uh, Joe Salavea or Jason Taylor. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If I'm a recruit and I'm seeing this game right here, and I'm talking about this dude was talking about, yeah, he a Hall of Famer, he can develop me. I would have questioned shit after this game. Just being honest. Some of these guys you've been in the system with for a whole year or better, and you not. What are you saying?
That's what part of me is kind of on the fence because I do kind of have to take a step back and remember that it is year one, and a lot of these guys did come in, after like very close to the end of spring. We about to have all season conditioning most likely next month or February, and then we pretty much getting ready to roll right back in the March April time frame after the draft. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much rolling right back into spring football. So I
You won't
I,
be able to tell that though.
yeah,
You
I
won't be
know.
able to tell that by the way that Mario get on like recruiting day. You talking about these dudes got this 450 or 355 power clean, 600-pound squatter.
Yeah.
You won't
But
be able to tell that though.
What do
but
that mean though?
when he
Like when
say
they be
that,
talking about these, I
when
ain't
he
go
say
ahead,
that,
Rick.
he be
Chris
talking
Young
about
out
the
here
same
being
guy all the time though. He be talking about the same two guys, Maui Goa and Ruben Bain. So what everybody else
hey,
doing?
get Chris Young
Hey,
out of
hey,
here, bro.
what?
I'm not dealing with
Hey,
this
what do that
ridiculous
mean
ass
in
talk.
football though? Like last year, I swear to God, man, when they was out there hyping up Sagapolu and
Yeah.
Trevante saying they squatting 700. I swear to God, I said in my head, I said, man, I hope that dude don't get hurt. I feel like I slapped rock Trevante Citizen, man. When they told me that dude was squatting like that, I'm like, man, that shit is a knee injury waiting to happen. What does that even do? You in the gym throwing up 700 on your legs. When in your life are you ever gonna need to lift 700 pounds off of you? Guess what happens when 700 pounds is on you on the football field? It's probably two defensive tackles, but the whistle blows and they get up on their own. You ain't got to get them up. So I don't even understand that, man. Like, dudes, I feel like these trainers cause a lot of these injuries these days, man. Overworking these dudes, man, because our bodies ain't nothing but water, blood, muscle, rubber bands for real. Your ligaments and tendons and rubber bands. What happens to a rubber band if you play within your fingers for so long? What does it do? You know what I mean? If I sit here and just keep doing this back and forth with a rubber band, one time it's going, you know what I mean? When you never know, that's where all your non-contact injuries come into play because these
Let's
dudes
try
get
to see.
overworked, man, by these so-called
Nah.
trainers and hype dudes and shit, man. Like these
Yeah,
we
what
wasn't
That's your
seeing it
boy.
like
That's
this
your
at
boy.
one
The
point.
the
You know
the,
what I
the
mean?
lineman. What's his name? They ain't play all year.
Zion.
Cool.
They got all the cartilage that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Put all that
Zion.
weight on him too
Zion Nelson.
fast. Yeah, threw
Well,
all that weight on
that's
him
the
too
thing.
fast.
You got to build muscle like that in a progression. You can't even if you sometimes you got to stop the player and be like, okay, you squatting 500 pounds, but could you rep that for 5 reps? If you can't,
Yeah.
take that
What's the
600
point?
pounds off the rack.
Right.
You got to tell them. If you
Right.
can't go farther than a halfway seated position with that 500 pounds, take that 600 pounds off the rack. Take them 45s off. You got to tell them
I see.
because you got to have full range of motion when you doing that type of weight, and then you progress towards it as you get older.
This is why I love guys like, and people gave him flack for years, Corey Flag, because you never heard him being the top lifter, the top speed guy, but he was smart. He was cerebral. He knew his playbook inside and out. Give me brains. Give me brains. And somebody that because to be honest with you, with Wesley, for instance, when he got, I don't know how many times it happened today, when he got taken on that 5, 6, 7 yard stroll by that little running back, if he had been cerebral enough, he would have got there before that dude was able to lower his, get behind his pads, lower his head, and drive. If he was cerebral enough, he got there a tad bit too late. He didn't have leverage, and he got driven back. You didn't see that shit happen with Corey Flag. How many games can you remember looking back, Corey Flag getting driven for yards? You didn't see that shit.
Mm-mm.
Think about
He
it.
he holding on and waiting for the rest of his teammates to help out.
He's a step
I'm
too
gonna say
late.
this though. I'm
He's a
gonna say
step
this.
too
I
late.
don't. It's kind of hard to because we did this last year, right? It's really hard to attack the strength in the strength coach. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know everything that's going on in there, and I definitely don't want to talk about Jason Taylor and Joe's development because we saw through the year we had to stop and give them props. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, and it's no excuse for losing to Rutgers. But we got down to, our backup D tackles. We saw how bad we've been without Leonard Taylor. We got down to smaller D tackles. And we saw Liechtenstein for 2 years. We know that there's not much production there. You know what I'm saying? So we really got down to like the thinnest part of our team or what have you. And it showed. I think what I'm probably more upset at is I'm looking at a guy like, everybody's going to be held accountable. Don't get it twisted. But I'm like, okay, Moulton, you're the biggest man that we have left. I need you to occupy some space. I need you to do it right. You know what I'm saying? I need you to give me something. And it's like he couldn't give me anything. I don't know. Maybe he was getting doubled and pushed off the block. I don't know. Did Horton play? Did anybody see Horton? Did y'all see Horton get out there and play?
I don't think Horton played.
No, he ain't played.
Not sure why.
Horton was the one that made a play against. He had to pick against.
The D tackle.
No, Horton.
That was
Listen.
That pick,
it was what?
That was Moulton.
That was Moulton that had the
okay.
interception.
Moulton and Pulliam got intercepted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
He didn't get on the field. Damn.
Yeah, Horton didn't play. Achimpong didn't play.
Achimpong's hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Malik Bryant didn't play. Put him in that edge.
None of the young linebackers.
No, Popo got in. Popo was playing.
Yeah, Popo got in.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. In the fourth quarter, he was
Fourth
playing.
quarter, yeah. You're right, 32, yeah. Yeah, they ain't double nobody on that line, though, but Bain. Nobody got double but Bain. They all got one-on-one manhandle, except Bain.
Did Jaden Wayne make any? I saw him on the field, but did he make any play?
Jaden Wayne started.
He didn't hold the edge the whole game.
Yeah, he started.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went around his edge all game. Because he was just crashing for a sack, trying to. They ran that dude. They running back bounced outside Wayne's edge all night.
Yeah, but we haven't heard the word about Fletcher Young. He just asked about Mark Fletcher. That was the one thing we did we escaped pretty healthy. I guess that was the one thing. We ain't got to go into the offseason with any crazy injuries. But there was a couple of guys I don't understand why we didn't see play. Because that's what I mean. Like, so are we really trying to win, or are we trying? Which one are we trying to? Because everybody wanted to see Citizen, and once Fletcher went down, I'm like, okay, there's opportunity. So you got to.
Did y'all really want to see Citizen on that wet field? Did you really want him to risk Citizen on that horrible field?
Yeah. Because I'm sure. You know why? Because you might not see him. You might not see him next year because he might be somewhere else. So I definitely wanted to see him on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Citizen to me is in the same realm as Don Cheney. I think it's up here at this point. Don Cheney eventually snapped out of it, but I really think it's one of those. It's mental.
We don't know. We don't know if he don't play though, Matty. Citizen has been dressing for the last 2 or 3 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see
one
him
rep.
a little bit. Yeah, so you
tried him on that 4th and 2 behind Lou.
That was just really
real.
missing. And once again, I cannot and I will not make sense of this. Why we are still in an era where on 4th and short, anything less than 3, we're in shotgun. I get it because the quarterback needs to see the field, but at the same time, like we're trying to go for short yardage. You know you got to run the ball. So unless you're actually going to legitimately pass out of that, why be in shotgun? And then you run it up, to AJ Allen with against the weakest part of the line. The places where you missed the 2 starters that would have got him up the field, you run the ball right behind them 2.
Yep.
Right.
Not Javian, not Cohen. Not Nez Cooper and Francis. No.
Francis.
Run it behind fucking Lou Cristobal as the guard.
Yeah.
On 4th and 2 for the game.
I knew
Off the
we
timeout.
weren't gonna do nothing. I knew we weren't gonna do nothing when I saw you had on offense. You had 5 down linemen. You had 2 tight ends in the backfield, a running back. They led the blocking scheme. The quarterback ran behind them, and they only got 2 yards. I knew we was losing. I knew we was losing.
The play we got stopped on 4th down. I think that was the drive that bothered me the most, because it wasn't the 4th down that we didn't get. It was the 3rd and 5 that we sat back there and ran the fucking ball, knowing it's just been ineffective all day. You got this running quarterback, bro. Put the ball in his hands, go into a passing formation, and explain to him, if it's not there, I need you to take off and get me 5. Why the fuck are we handing the ball off on 3rd and 5?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been
And
running.
it seemed like Dawson didn't figure that out to that last drive of the game when we got the ball back on the onside. That's when you finally figure out, like, man, just spread them out and let them just throw the
Yeah,
ball.
we spread the ball out and we're running fucking 7 and 8 yard routes on the sideline. What the fuck is that? Go. You send them. Go. Give me some slants, give me some drags, and everybody else give me some post corners. Why? Because once those fucking DBs turn their backs, JB, if it's 15 to 20 yards out there, go get it. We got 2 timeouts. Go get it. We're like throwing the fucking ball to the fucking sidelines and completing 6-yard fucking pass. The man said it. He's like, we completed a 4-yard pass and it took 4 seconds off the clock. You only had about 27 seconds. What are we doing? Man, this shit's gotta get fixed, man. We gotta get. I don't know what we can do, because it seems to me like we want better from our coordinators, but that's the head coach's job, is to be able to help them. And it seems like he's not identifying what to do, how to do it, or if we should do it. So to me, we're in a bit of trouble right there, bro. And I just don't. I understand we're gonna keep accumulating talent. I'm just not one of those people that believes that at this level you can just out talent everybody. I don't. You just saw Georgia lose to Alabama. Who's got more talent than Georgia? Like I just don't think that's how the game works at this level. If this was the Miami Gardens Ravens, yeah, that shit works. Give me Jeremiah JoJo and just say fuck it, we can go out there and win the game. If this is fucking Central and I don't have goddamn IMG on my schedule, I expect to go undefeated. This is not how this shit works at this level or the next level. You don't just accumulate all talent and just say fuck the coaching. I don't know how we get better from there, because we have to get better within. And I don't know how the fuck we do that, because I don't know if they got Mike McDaniel's number or not, but they need to call that motherfucking offseason.
Live from the Pork and Bean Projects.
Yeah.
Live from the beans.
I just got off the plane, man. I was listening to y'all talk, man, on the plane, man. I started asking people if they had Adderall or something. I need some medication. Shit, man. I'm like Alcoholic Anonymous, this motherfucker, man. Like, damn. I mean, so listening to y'all and the frustration, right? This Cristobal was 2nd year, right?
Yep, year 2.
2nd year.
If we had to take a guess in the comment section, up here in the panel, at minimum, Cristobal is getting more time than Al Golden did, right?
Agreed.
How many years Al Golden had? 3?
4?
Yeah,
He
4,
got an
almost
extension,
5.
he got a bag, didn't he?
Yeah, he got 4, almost 5.
Remember the Penn State heist?
Yeah.
Right. So Cristobal can get him 5 in the comment. Y'all agree?
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so he's here. He's getting 5. So that's what we have. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're gonna see what we saw today for the next 5 years, unless he becomes better at the things. It look like we're failing that discipline. Either Jacoby George is a rebel or something, or it looks like we're lacking discipline. It looks like we lack time management. You know what I'm saying? But Cristobal probably isn't going anywhere. So, Kyle, what we're going to have is a stacked team of talent, right? And my question is, does continuity fix a lot of things? Like Dawson
I was
coming back year after year, and people knowing what it is. Now Corey know what the offense is. Now Ray know. You know what I'm saying? Ray's teaching the next guy because they know the offense. Does that fix anything?
well, Streeter. We've done the exact opposite for all these years. So
I think it will.
at this point, what other option is there? We hire and fire people every year, especially in the Manny Diaz era.
Right.
Whether it's position coach or coordinator, we hired and fired it, which was him basically, hopping around on hot stones. You were just making sure that he didn't screw up.
Yeah.
All the way to the point where he was like, what, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Thanos voice, you know what I'm saying? I'll call the defense. And it's
Right.
like, what's the alternative?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what? If we give continuity to Mario or the staff, and we don't switch stuff up, we need to give continuity to the players too. I think if that's the route we're gonna go, then why are we sitting here trying to go get a transfer portal QB? We need to go out there with Curry next year and let them get better progressively game after game.
Right.
Because that's where we at as a program. And we need to stop lying to ourselves. That's where we at. We need to take what we got and go out there and go beat Florida State. And go beat Florida. Right. And go win those games.
We Wyoming.
To answer the question, to answer the question,
We're Wyoming,
right?
bro. We're Wyoming, bro. Somebody go check Wyoming record. Go ahead, Kyle.
Street, you talking about continuity, right? It ain't a whole lot of continuity in college anymore. Guys are getting whatever and hitting the portal, right? So I don't know what continuity is going to do. Because are you going to have a Ray for 3 or 4 years? You don't know. So I don't know what the continuity is going to do. But it's not about.
I mean, you got a point, though.
Is it gonna help? Yeah, it's gonna help. But at the same time, it's like you have to be making adjustments. So it's not necessarily just the continuity. It's like, how are you getting better? Because I think it was Rich. Gage was saying it. 3 different quarterbacks, right? And it seems like you don't know how to play. You didn't know how to play to any one of those guys' strengths. You didn't game plan for any one of those guys' strengths. So what is continuity doing? You know what I'm saying? If you're not a guy that can make adjustments, and you can, because you're going to have to adjust to the personnel that you get every single year. We're in this transfer portal now, and kids are flying, kids are coming, kids are going. So what happens if,
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't go out and get another toy and then mess that toy up too. Like, if we're going to keep the same coaches, you might as well keep the same players so that that's the devil that you know. Then go ahead and you and that devil sit down and y'all wrestle with each other and y'all both get better at the same time. But don't sit there and go get some other new shiny toy and let the coaches go up to the podium and be like, yeah, we got to get some more guys in here. And when we get the guys, then we'll be better.
Right.
Nah, man. You need to be a better coach.
Nah. That's what Manny was saying. So we got a chance. We got a chance to talk to a coach before the game. I don't know if I should say his name. And I was like, bro, it has to be kind of hard to coach in situations like this. Like you're coming into a bowl game and you're missing a bunch of guys. The starting QB. You know what I'm saying? You're starting with the starting QB. You're missing your leaders on defense. You're missing a bunch of guys. And he pointed out to me, he was like, you know what? That's not what it feels like, Street. It feels like the guys on the bench that are waiting their turn to play are chomping at the bit to play. It doesn't feel like, oh, Cam is not here. It feels like Marquise finally gets his chance, and those guys are eager to get on the field and play. I didn't see many of those guys on the field tonight. I got to go rewatch the game from TV.
Oh, Marquise skinny ass was definitely on the field.
No, Marquise, he started. Think about it now. Philip Buchanan was telling us that Marquise was going to challenge James Williams for his starting position. That's how good he was looking in practice a year ago. I think it's something to be said about in-game playing time, from Ja'Cory on down to Markeith. Actual experience in the game. Because I don't think Markeith can't play. I think he's malnutrition.
Yeah.
But I think game experience, these guys, they have to get. Now, as far as our
Markeith had 8 tackles. Markeith had 8 tackles. The only
he had
person
no
with more
choice.
tackles.
The bowling ball was coming straight to him.
That's
He had
true.
no choice.
Yeah, he had to
no
clean up
choice.
he had to clean up everything.
That's true.
Yeah,
And that's
he
not
had no choice.
easy. That's not easy when you're 175 pounds, man.
Well, I hope you get the message. Because that's between him and them 45-pound dumbbells. It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. But now the defensive line, bro, listen. We look like FAMU on the defensive line.
What?
Sorry, baby. She just looked at me like, yeah, FAMU, goddamn. FAMU. We are small, bro. Rutgers is bigger than us. Dog, they I don't know if she on the
It's the Big Ten.
recruiting. I don't know if he's just recruiting 6'5" guys. They don't care if they can run or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're bigger than us. They had number 72 looked like something they found in the mountains, and they just throw food in a cage and let them out on their Saturdays.
You're not lying. I saw him on the. I was like, God,
Bane,
what is that?
Dog, as good as Bane isn't big, dog. Y'all realize this,
No.
right?
Yeah, Bane's on 6'2".
We need some bodyguards out there with him for us to see the best Bane. I wouldn't call them bodyguards, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We need some dudes out there with him.
Yeah, the
and
beef
then
in the
we'll
middle
see
part.
Right. He's standing next to Dean, and Dean looks like his little brother. And them two are going against the Mountain Man.
Yeah. I watched Kansas State O-line.
Man, it's crazy.
I saw one guy on their O-line push 2 D linemen out the way. I was like, we don't have nothing like that on our O-line. Nothing.
That has to be our focus. If we went hard at O-line last year, Rich, that has to be our focus. Now, we slow poke. Now, we could talk about the Shamar shit. Shamar not coming. They kind of slow poke with Shamar. Film ain't look good enough. But they say they have a plan. Okay? The second wave of transporter kids are coming. They say they have a plan. Because we look like the Miami Gardens Ravens 13U on D-line, boy. We're little. And Rutgers knew it, too. Where's X at, who thought Streeter was joking when I said they looked at us like food? Where X at? Get him in here.
Man, it's a whole bunch of kids who hopped in the transfer portal from Texas A&M outside of Shamar, who we can use on both the O-line and D-line. And we have not recruited none of them.
I think they're looking, because this is the second wave of the portal. After this bowl thing, I think things really shape out.
Yeah.
Then you start seeing going to the draft, who's really, because you don't really know. Like you don't look at Restrepo. We don't know what he's doing.
They better call Darryl Jackson. Fuck all that shit.
No, and who?
What'd you say, Street?
Who said that about Anez Cooper? They should have put Anez Cooper both ways, but these guys are so traditional, right? They're so traditional that it makes them look unsmart sometimes.
They're set in their ways.
Yeah.
He played both ways in high school. Shit, what the fuck?
Bro, listen. Anez Cooper with his helmet off, dog. Like, I really looked at him today. He looks like he's from the mountains too, dog. No, he looks like he's 45 years old, bro. They should have played him both ways, especially after that first drive. They should have just erased everything on the chalkboard. Like, scrap this. This about to be a long day.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, bro. We got Cristobal, and I think if we can keep the same OC, same DC, at least we can get some continuity.
I know players switch in and switch out. But I don't think it's I don't think it happens a lot, but I think you keep your core guys for the most part. I believe so. I just think, man, I don't know what to think no more, bro. I'm finna go home and take a BC or something.
With that being said, man, I think that's a good segue for us to kind of been here for an hour and 40. We want to be on for an hour, but appreciate everybody coming on, man. Gage, Heat, Streeter, live from the Pork and Beans. Rich, Kyle, as always. That's the season, man. That's it. 7-6. It's better than 5-7, I guess, if you want to be an optimist. But still a disappointing loss. We'll see y'all in a couple months. Oh, them grades coming, right? We were riding high after that recruiting day. We were
Yeah,
like,
y'all
no,
gotta
yeah,
end the
you know
grades.
what?
Y'all gotta finish. Y'all gotta give in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
grade. But I mean, but we still. But listen, the show not going anywhere because it seems as if the college football is year round now at this point. The
You
transfer
right.
portal. So
You right.
yeah, I mean, so the traffic picked up after the season because of transfer portal, man. So we'll set some times out the week, so you guys will know when we on here, bro. It'll get us some time to get the membership set up on the Caneville channel, and yeah, man, we gotta do the end of season grades.
Yeah,
We
we
X
definitely gonna
probably
finish
drunk
that.
on Tootsie's floor somewhere or some shit.
We definitely gonna finish that. Once again, man, appreciate all y'all. Appreciate the villains who pulled up, man. If you want to have opportunities to join this lovely panel and speak, like Gage and like Heat, become a member, man. Not for here. We still working on the Caneville members. But Footballville, it's all inclusive as you can see for right now. So, but we appreciate y'all for rocking with us. More to come. Shout out to y'all once again. Shout out to them guys, man. Salute. We about this thing.
Peace.